wearing the new t-shirt from our school. We got to lose some weight behind the t-shirt, but this is kind of cool. It's our new t-shirt. I want to do some mellow painting. Cory asked for landscape, do some watercolor, and listening to Genesis, which is cool. I realized what I was missing on these videos was the ability to have the music, and I really can't draw and paint without the music, because to me, painting and drawing is just visual music. And so usually I'm with music going. So you'll be able to paint, I'll paint, we'll do it together, and I'll point out some points. So we're going to do a pure watercolor. I like to live vicariously through people, so I have this image here. I also have it on my computer over here. Since we spoke last, I've become what's called a stack reader at the Getty, which is my happy place, and means I have access to the archives, to the books. You just go there and use your little card, which is great. The guards are actually nice to you. I mean, they're actually nice to me. I'm like, wow, what did I do? And you get to go to the front of the line if you want, which I wouldn't do. I'll wait in line. And the guards are nice and everything. And you go in, the library is real sweet. And you wave your card at the elevator and down to the third floor. And you got like paradise. I mean, you'll pick up these huge books and it'll see like Michelangelo slept here. It's like these really old, beautiful books. So what I do, you're allowed to take photos, you're allowed to scan them, but I just take pictures and I have them here on my laptop, and I also have them on my phone. So we're going to go to the Getty, but we're not right now. Right now we're going to go to a place that somebody else went to. But I'm going to draw from the Getty books, and we'll do it together and have fun. To me, a wild day, really crazy, wild, out of control day is going to the Getty, putting on my headphones and studying. And so I'm a wild and crazy kind of guy. This sketchbook here is a from Italy, so we'll use this. The paint we're going to use is from a student called Alda, and she's only been in my school for a little while. She was getting ready. She's going to USC. Uh, she's brilliant. What can you say? She's just brilliant. You know right away. They walk in, you start talking, you go, there they are. So she's at USC. She'll come back and see me when she can. But she went to China and she brought back this paint set, and I've only used it once. So what I did is I took a wood palette and taped it in to the lid. And I'm going to use this as pure watercolor. I guess you can also use it opaque. You can tell that so far what I've used it with is just stains the wood. So it'll be pretty chill. The painting we're going to do is this one. We'll kind of have some fun with it. This one here, this is all pure Amalfi paper. It's going back a while. So I've gone, like this is pure watercolor here. You can see, really putting it down. It's real bold. So we'll do some of these. But right now we're going to go pretty, like here, this is just pure watercolor. We're really just using the water to tell the story, to move the paint around. And that's what I like about watercolor. So we got that. So that's gouache. This is gouache, which is kind of silly to put gouache on such. This one I really like. This is pure watercolor. You can just tell that we're letting the water do the work. And I've probably showed you this book before. So this is pretty good. Gouache. This is more or less what we're going to do. Okay. So we'll thumb through this. That's pure watercolor. Pure watercolor. You'll notice that it's the negative shape that's so important. It's what you don't see that really works. So let's have a little fun. I like this one. This was done at our school. This is a demo. Probably done in about an hour and a half. That's what we do at our school. I mean, everybody demos. There's another one. We'll do some of these for you guys. There's a demo. It's kind of watercolor with a little gouachiness to it. We'll do some of these. But right now we're going to do a landscape. Okay, so I hope everybody's well. Been busy, which is good. Of course, I love being a grandpa. That's my life. Okay, here we go. Let's get this in the right spot. All right, we have this. We'll be able to see some of this. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, I have the picture in front of me, and I also have it on my phone. I'll listen to Genesis at the same time. And we'll plug this in so that it battery doesn't go crazy. You're in my studio. This is my paradise, and now the Getty is in here. So we got that, and here we go. Here's the brushes. I'm using some expensive brushes. I think these were given to me. These are Kolinsky Sable. This is beautiful stuff. These old brushes. But these are synthetic brushes. And I got them for $12 for an entire set. And they work. I use it. I did a whole series just now for Catalina Island. And I use these for acrylic. And I also used them for gouache. And now we're going to use them for watercolor. Okay. All right. So do that. We'll put on the music in a sec. What we want to do is what we have going here is we've got this really nice nature. This is just from the from Instagram. And God, do I look heavy in here? I gotta get back to that chair. So we're back here's the water. Gonna have some contrast here, so that'll be the center of interest. We have a little kind of a walkway, you know, throw some clouds up here. But we have a law of thirds, so we have this is big, smaller, and big. So law of thirds. I've got horizontals, I've got diagonals. So we call that the elevator and escalator. Here's elevator, elevator, escalator. Closed, open, so that's your composition. So it all pretty much works. So we got that. I would say the biggest thing that's happened since we've seen each other last is the rebranding. I've rebranded. So what does that mean? I took a lot of flack for being this crazy guy, you know, never shuts up, always talking, which isn't really true. Quiet 80% of my life. So I just rebranded, and it worked. People are like not expecting me to be doing all the talking because I really don't. I stay pretty quiet, and you know, if we're in a room, unless I'm teaching, where I'm getting paid to do the talking, usually pretty quiet, especially at the Getty. So it felt great. You know, it's like it worked. So advertising is, you know, if you have a background in advertising, you can use it for other people's product, but you can also use it for yourself. And I did. It feels great. So I'll probably be a little more quiet. I don't really have any jokes. Okay, so here's the water. I'm going to come down like this. I want to put some trees over the top. Got that. But notice I'm using about 90% water. So I'm going to come down this way, cut off the water, and put on some music. This needed to just a live Genesis. So I really, there's certain music that you can draw and paint to. So if you guys go find a photo that you like, I usually like from I like it from Instagram. People post their stuff. I really don't. I mean, I went outside my backyard for a while, and my God, this mosquito landed right here on my hand. And you can hear from the mosquito. You know, we know you have many choices when you fly. We like you to choose our airline. You know, and it's like Today we'll be serving Sheldon's blood. I didn't really go out much. I spent a lot of time in my studio. And if I'm not working, I'm studying. I'm studying and sketching. Sketchbooks have gotten really big. There's a term in the legal world, voluminous. My sketchbooks have become extremely big, lots. So I wanted to get some sketchbooks at the Getty, and the certain one they have their Van Gogh one, the medium size. They didn't have it, so I came back another time and didn't have it. So I have friends that work in the store already, and you kind of know them. And I said, hey, it's kind of weird that you don't have your own brand sketchbook. And so this guy has become, I like him, nice guy. He called to the warehouse, and they had him in the warehouse. So they brought him up for me. So I got 3 of those. I have 2 other ones. I got 9 big ones. I'm drawing in about, right now, actively drawing in about 6 big ones. There's like, 10, 20 pages left. And we'll be drawing with them tonight. And then there's about 60 of them on the floor behind me. Different brands, different styles, leather, beautiful stuff. And then on the shelf, there's probably another 30 or 40. And then in the corner, maybe just under 100 sketchbooks. And then I have paper, as I worked in printing, so some beautiful paper and collecting paper. So I don't know, people judge their wealth by, like, I have nice watches, but they judge it by their golf clubs or their fancy cars. I've been there. Sketchbooks, that's where you judge it. Art supplies. Okay, so what do we got? This way, that way. So we have a lot of thirds with clouds up here. It's the negative shapes that are important. I'm going to put some clouds in the background, not even mountains. Let's see. These are drawings we're going to do later. The model came in. I'll make up some mountains back here. That was Cory. Cory says hello to everybody. Cory runs the show. He's the boss. He wants me to do live recordings, which I'm a little bit shy to do, especially because I work in a very crazy world called homicide forensics. So I'm not sure I really want to be, this is probably scary enough because I'm working on these big, big things and behind the scenes. But as long as we stay corporate, we stay artistic, we don't get into anything, legal. My true passion in life is actually homicide. So it's going to be a little warmer back there. So we're doing that. I haven't used this paint before. Really, I just did one little tiny painting. So I told Cory I didn't want to do it, and then he told me I was stupid, and of course I know. So we'll see. So let us know. Send us a text. Okay, so that's off in the background. This is going to be water, which will reflect the sky. Let me do okay here. I'm going to use some olive green. So it's really about 95% water. The way you work with watercolor is wet, satin, dry. So wet is going to be your local value, local color. I want to bring these over the mountain. and we get lost. See, once you have the water there, you just touch and let the water move the paint. You're not doing brush strokes like you would do with oil or acrylic or gouache. You're letting the water do the work. You can see the paint photos here. Changing it a lot. I'm changing it quite a bit. And then as it starts to dry, it's what I call satiny. And then what that will do is the paint will move really slow. Actually, I don't need this because I have the painting over there, the photo. It's on my laptop. I mostly paint with temperature. This is a little purpley here, so it's more warmed up. So I hope everybody's doing well. I'm officially retired from animation as far as working for studio, and officially retired from university. Um, but I'm still working a 14-day week. Yay! We have our school, and then I'm still working as an artist, whether it be gallery or forensics or whatever needs to be done. So artists don't stop working. We can warm this up. So you got these shapes, and I want them to go back. So we got to get kind of lost in this. So I want this to go over. That's going to be the water over there. I haven't learned this palette yet, so just kind of putting my brush wherever it seems to go. Still doing a lot of looking on the internet. I'm frustrated because people are offering stuff that can't. It just can't happen. You're not gonna, if you can sketch, you can storyboard. No. If you studied film, you can storyboard. Learn pastel in 6 hours. No, you have to know how to paint to do pastel. Pastel is just a medium. It's just a technique. You got to know shape, edges, value, color. You have to know composition. You have to know saturation. You have to know edges. I mean, you got to know how to paint. And then you can do pastel. It's just a medium. So I guess if you're the greatest artist in the world and you pick up the pastels for the first time and you're actually having a great day, maybe you can do pastel quickly. But the whole thing about pastel is you go from thin to thick, you got to build them up. And I'm just like, how? You have a student who's showing a painting that's a complete and total photograph. It's just copying a photograph. They're like, oh, that's an amazing painting. No, it's not a painting. It's a photograph. You just copied the photograph. Well, that's most people who are visual can do that. We need to guide the eye. We need to tell it where it's going. So I'm still frustrated, but I got to chill out. My training was tough, as we've talked about many times. My teacher was tough. Even the non-tough teachers were tough on me because they knew they could. They knew that I wanted to be good, so they were tough. They gave me the real stuff. So if it seems too good to be true, it's too good to be true. All right, so I got that. See, this is still satiny, so I have the opportunity, to put in, shapes, but they'll be held a little bit better. It's not going to flow real quick. It can become like a soft shape. I think I'm lightening up a little bit because the students don't seem to take the toughness as well. Our school, they do. They know they're loved. Okay, so we have this. Let's put a little path. Let's do that. So that's over on the other side. We're going to go this way. I usually have like this cloud or tree over my left shoulder casting a shadow. So let's warm it up a little bit and then cool it a bit with this like warm, cool shadow poem. See, bringing our eye in. And because the paint's still wet, it can be kind of out of focus. And then on the ground here, I'm going to go pretty cool. This is going to be a fun set. I really appreciate her doing that because it was from, it's so special because it was from China. China or Japan. I think she went both places. You know, I love art supplies. That's my whole thing. I'm going to warm up here. Really bring it forward. Warms will come closer to you. All right, so saturation's pretty high, and it's really going to bring the eye closer to us. This paint can really saturate. That's pretty good. At the school, we call this where we kill Bambi's mom. So Bambi's mom is definitely going to die here. Here, let's see, that's the center of interest. That'll be strongest. Saturation, value, contrast. I've been getting emails from new masters, the students. We really appreciate it. I really like what new masters is doing. I've been involved with them for years. I don't hear much. These are my videos, and then you play them, but definitely dedicated new masters person. I know Glenn's doing stuff, and Aaron Blaze is a god. I have his books on my shelf. So it's definitely grabbing the right people, Bill Pooh and everybody. And they haven't asked, but I couldn't do it anyways. I have a schedule that's insane. I can't get away. I mean, imagine I say, hey, can you come for a week? Huh, are you crazy? Get away for a week. That's crazy. I'm definitely not retired, that's for sure. All right, so we got this kind of a misty road going back. So let's bring the some kind of fun little trees going over the corner, over the top. Well, maybe some bushes or something. It's just shapes. Shapes and temperature and saturation. If you can get that, you're doing pretty well. Break the plane. And Siri just told me that she found something about breaking the plane. Technology is amazing. A lot of talk about AI out there. Not really affecting us in the art world. Tell the parents at the school we're pretty much ahead of it at our school. So it's not scaring us. Just a tool. That's a hell of a powerful tool. So really pushing the creativity. That's the key. So I tell lots of stories that don't exist at the school. It's really fun. They're crazy stories. They're crazy stuff. The kids just laugh. It's really fun. Okay, so that's softer. So still doing that. It's fun. They never know what to expect. Okay, we're going to take this and bring it up. Break the plane. Siri, don't talk to me. We talked about breaking the plane. So we're training the new generation to, you know, the average age of our school is, I don't know, maybe 14, 15, yeah, 16-year-olds too. We're getting them ready for college is what we do. So my kids, when they get to college, they're going to be badass. They are going to be badass. They already are. I mean, they're doing fine. I love them. They're like my own kids. I lose sleep. They keep me awake at night. I worry about them. Think about what's the next step. But we stay ahead of things. We have people from all over the world. One of my students just went back to India, an adult, professional, PhD, he's got a doctorate, and he's a genius. And so to teach him, I had to teach it on a scientific way as an engineer, PhD engineer. You know, I had to teach color by weight and anatomy by the thickness of the muscles and stuff because I love anatomy. He's just an amazing, amazing person. Just loved him when he moved. So, and he was from New Masters. New Masters people, you're allowed to study at our school. If there's something you need, you know, come in. It's all based on just hours. All right, so we got that, right? So we're going back. All right, so find the. So our school is not New Masters, and New Masters is not our school. We complement each other. And that is music. Okay, so we're pushing back here. We're going back in space. Well, this is drawing here. Let's try to hit a dark. Bam. Again, I don't know the palette. I'm just putting my brush wherever it is. I just look for warms and cools. Go into the most contrast here. At this level, this plane. We got that nice horizontal. We got a diagonal. And then we're going to have our nice vertical. So I got that vertical. I'll put that up in the clouds also. So we're always working with the composition, but it should be, by now it should be something that you're pretty familiar with. You know, just kind of there. We got these verticals. And this is a sketch, you guys. It's not like this painting. I do gallery work. Put a lot of time into the gallery work, but this is just a sketch. But if you do a lot of these, then the gallery work is fun because you're using the knowledge from this. So if he's interested, they're in the Catalina Art Association galleries. I love Catalina Island. Don't get there as often as I want, though. So a lot of contrast here. See that? This camera makes me look heavy. I've lost weight. So we have contrast here, and we have contrast here, and then real simple back here. Now put in clouds. With the clouds, we want to go the negative shape, and I'm going to just make them up out of my head. Just work the negative shapes. Clear. We're going to come around. See, you got this nice diagonal. So bring the clouds into the diagonal over there. Come over the mountain. Most of this is out of my head because if you look, it's different. Usually darker up the top, lighter towards the horizon. Now, when you paint clouds, this is where one of the few places where you're going to go cliche. Because clouds have so many different shapes. The old thing about laying there and say, I see an elephant, and I see this, I see that. So here, we're going to paint cliche clouds. What everybody sees a cloud as. So it's kind of a straight line, some curves. You can see it's still, what I'm painting with is just tinted wood. When I key my paintings, they're usually olive green. I like olive green. My grandson loves olive green, so he's now allowed me to share it with him. These two. It's my favorite color. I go, but I like it too. So now he lets me share it. But I had it before him. But it's okay. These are really good brushes, and they're just cheap. So this shape is more jagged. So it's going to pull the eye. Boom. There we go. It's a simple landscape. A sketch. And then the more you add like little tiny shapes, then it becomes more realistic. It's always loose. You're just adding more shapes. Okay? So that's watercolor. We're going to do another watercolor, but a face. We'll see how that turns out. Okay? It's good to be back, you guys. New t-shirts from our school. Sheldon's Art Academy. All right. We'll see you in a while.